Maldivian President Dr. Mohamed Wahid says that Sri Lanka's efforts should be appreciated by the international community. Speaking exclusively to News First Shamil Rasuldin in Colombo today, the Maldivian President said that Maldives will continue to support Sri Lanka in all its endeavours.
Events that unfolded on the 7th of February when President Nasheed resigned. He said that he was under duress. Was it really a coup?
Because, Mr. Nasheed himself raised issue with the transition and therefore he made very serious allegations about a coup d'etat in Maldives. We immediately responded to that. I responded to that by setting up a presidential commission of inquiry to find out exactly what happened.
Why do you think Nasheed changed his mind 24 hours after he resigned from the post of president?
My sense of it is that he realized that he had made a mistake.
What are the mistakes he did?
Democracy, we are learning the hard way that it doesn't just come overnight. It's a process, it's a journey. And 2008, of course, was an important milestone, but that wasn't the arrival of democracy in Maldives. Many of our partners, many of our international partners particularly, assumed that there is democracy in Maldives and therefore they could take a step back.
Mr. President, if you did not agree with Nasheed's stand at that time, why didn't you resign as a vice president and take an independent approach to this whole issue?
This would have been exactly what he wanted, because I was not from his party. With my resignation, he doesn't have to go to an election. He would simply appoint his own person as vice president and there would be no check whatsoever on the administration.
Mr. President, the Commonwealth countries did pressurize you to hold elections this year. I want to know, Mr. President, do you fear elections?
Commonwealth countries, if they understood our constitution, would have not done it. There was no reason for it. I have said very openly, I will support elections as early as July of next year.
Mr. President, will you contest the elections next year in July?
I'm considering it, but it depends on a number of factors and things can change in Maldives over the next couple of months. I will make a decision then.
Will Nasheed be allowed to contest elections as well?
Obviously he will be. All Maldivians are.
Mr. President, with regard to the Universal Periodic Review that is going to be held in October, your government voted against the resolution that was sponsored by the United States in early March. I want to know, what is the position of your government? Are you satisfied the manner in which Sri Lanka has progressed in terms of the lessons learned and reconciliation report, and what would be the stand of your government in October?
Sri Lanka is making a huge effort and that should be appreciated. Things cannot be changed overnight and we will continue to stay with Sri Lanka in the Human Rights Commission and other.
30 years of President Abdul Gayoom's rule. I want to know, Nasheed came in 2008 to establish democracy in your country, and then you took over as the president of Maldives. What will happen next?
Democracy is not something that one individual can do. He was supported by me. He was supported by many other individuals in our country and our population, primarily our population, young population that wants change. And that march towards democracy and establishing a full democracy will continue. Maldives will be a democracy. We are committed to that. There's no reason to doubt that it's going to reverse.
Well, you can watch the full interview with the President of Maldives, Dr. Mohamed Wahid, on 3rd of September after the primetime news bulletin at 9 p.m. on MTV Sports. Well, time for a short commercial break. Stay with News First. We will be right back. Welcome back to the news. Minister of Higher Education S.P. Dissanayake says that it is JVP, the Ceylon Teachers Union, and Professor Aruth Hatil who created the Z's course crisis. Parties who were accused responded to this statement.
A training program was conducted in Gelioya today for bhikkhus who got qualified to enter the Buddhist and Pali University.
Is score ප්‍රශ්නය මේ ප්‍රශ්නය දැන් උසාවියේ අවසාන අධීරයේ තියෙන්නේ.
This ESCO issue is at the final stage in court. It is not the universities which created this issue. This crisis was created by the JVP and the Ceylon Teachers Union. Students did not object when they were selected according to the ESCO system that was created by the board appointed by the University Grants Commission. It was Professor Tatil who levelled objection. He objected since he was not appointed to the committee. We will take steps to enroll highest number of students in the manner that an injustice will not be done for them.
අසාධාරණේ අලාභය අවම කරන්න ශිෂ්‍යයන්ට ශිෂ්‍යෝ බේර ගන්න අවශ්‍ය පරිම දේවල් කරන්න අපි කටයුතු කරගෙන යනවා.
The minister doesn't know anything about the Z-score. I am not the one who put a case in the courts against the methodology worked out by some committee. I was made a respondent. Therefore, in the courts, I had to show that the method adopted by the committee that is pooling the means was wrong. And the courts accepted it.
Today, everyone in the education sector have walked to the street. However, ministers Bandula and SB, who should have been taken to the street, continue to win palaces. The JVP has engaged in a struggle to ensure the right of free education when attempts are being taken to curtail this. The JVP has no need to hide this. SP Disanayaka is distorting facts to the public after creating issues in the education sector. We vehemently condemn this attempt and we also feel sad about his mental status. It was ministers SB Disanayaka and Bandula Gunawardana who said that the results of the 2011 GCE advanced level examination is correct when the entire country said it was wrong. There is a great crisis in the country's education sector. Still, they have failed to enroll a single student who sat for the A-level examination in 2011 to universities. Isn't this a crisis? Who created this issue? A minister who failed to operate the 17 universities under him without shutting them down and making such comments for others, we consider it as a joke.
277,671 candidates sat for the GCE advanced level examination this time around. The written examinations will conclude on the 30th of this month. FUTA says that they withdrew from A-level paper marking activities. Ceylon Teachers Service Union says the paper marking activities will not be carried out without university lecturers. Ceylon Teachers Union says that they will refrain from paper marking activities carried out without university lecturers. When will action be taken to stop the deterioration of the education sector?
Time now for the newspaper cartoon of the day. Also in local news, Deputy Minister of Ports and Highways Nirmala Kothalawala says that the government cannot be toppled via text messages. He expressed this view in a reply to a recent statement made by opposition leader Ranil Wickremesinghe.
I would like to note, as individuals who receive the free education, we need to walk to the streets at a time when the government is attempting to destroy the country's free education. I would like to request from the youth to send text messages asking the public to walk to the streets on behalf of the country's free education. Today, students are asked to send text messages in order to topple this government. This government cannot be toppled by text messages. If there is anyone with the United National Party, representatives of the Yon Peramana, they need to join hands with Chadit Premajasa and remove Ranil Wickremesinghe from the post of party leader as well as the leader of the opposition. That is what is required today.
Ranil Wickremesinghe mahathyaව විපක්ෂ නායකනු ගමනුත් පක්ෂ නායකත්වයේ ගමනුත් අයින් කරන්න අද අවශ්‍ය වෙලා තියෙනවා.
General Secretary of the United National Party, Tisat Tanaka, says that Minister Maithripala Sirisena should hold a debate with him. He made this remark in response to the challenge levelled by Minister Maithripala Sirisena at the opposition leader.
Recently, Minister Maithripala Sirisena stated that UNP leader Ranil Wickremesinghe revealed information about the election campaign of then UNP candidate Gamani Disanayaka to the People's Alliance candidate during the 1994 presidential election. He challenged that he is ready to divulge information with documents he possesses at a public debate that will be held with Ranil Wickremesinghe. It was I who challenged General Secretary of the SLFP, Maithripala Sirisena. It is not fair to make such false statements when residents living in the Mahaveli settlements in Polonnaruwa act against him. I would like to reiterate that if General Secretary Maithripala Sirisena can prove this with necessary evidence, come for a debate with me. There is no need to cross the directions. There is no need to shy away from this by challenging others. He need to come for a debate with me since I challenged him. Yesterday, we pointed out that a speech made by Minister S.P. Dissanayake in Parliament on the 4th of August 1998, which further proves the revelation made by Minister Maithripala Sirisena. According to the Hands-on Minister, Dissanayake had stated that the leader of the UNP had supported the PA candidate during the 1994 presidential election.
A public rally was held in the Kallari area in Battikala yesterday under the auspices of TNA leader R. Sambandhan. The parliamentarian shared these views at the occasion.
They haven't held an election in the north and they do not like to hold an election as well. Since the area has a large population of Tamil people, they know that the TNA will definitely clinch victory. This will show that the Tamil people remain committed to their policies. This in turn will help the international community fight for the Tamil cause. As a result of this, the government is of the view that there is nothing to gain by holding provincial council polls in the area.
Chairman of the Sri Lanka Muslim Congress, Bashir Sekou Dawood, says that there is no need for his party leader to resign from his post. Sekou Dawood recently resigned from his deputy ministerial post, stating that he does not wish to engage in election propaganda activities by using state assets and the government's goodwill.
There is no need for a leader to resign just because I tendered my resignation. It is during cabinet meetings that we get the opportunity to discuss issues faced by the party as well as the society with the president. Therefore, there is a need of party leader to take part in cabinet meetings and to maintain ties with the president in order to discuss issues faced by the Muslim community and other minorities. I do not take part in cabinet meetings.
நான் அமைச்சரவைக்கு போகின்றவன் அல்ல.